What does great listening mean? Because people are like, oh, it's about listening. And I'm like, great, what does that mean? Like, there's different types of listening.
Yeah, so active listening is not about hearing the words spoken, right? Like sometimes we're watching television and somebody's trying to talk to us and they go, you're not listening to me, and you repeat back everything you heard. You say, see, I am listening to you. No, you heard the words. Listening is making the other person feel heard. So the fact that you were watching television, even though you were taking in the words that were spoken, the other person didn't feel heard because you weren't looking them in the eye and paying them and being present while they were talking to you. So listening is the art of making other people feel heard, validating the things they're saying, repeating back to them what you heard, saying it back to them in a different way. Let me make sure that I hear this right and saying it back to them as you heard it, not just parroting back the language, looking them in the eye, not looking at your phone, not being distracted by other things around the room. And at the end, they will say, thank you for being present. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing me. I really appreciate it. So you haven't listened until somebody else has said that, that you've done so.
Very often when people...
Again, listening requires at least two people, which means it's social. And so you don't get to determine that you have listened because it's a social interaction. For the same reason you don't get to determine whether you were clear with whatever you said until somebody else says, I understand. It's the same thing.
I don't understand that. Sorry, maybe I'm...
That's okay.
If I don't get to determine it, but if I'm not listening, I'm determining it. You could be talking to me and I'm on my phone over here.
Yeah.
I'm determining that I'm not listening by actively not listening.
Well, you can be actively not listening. That's fine. You know when you're being an ass and being distracted. Yeah, but can you do the opposite? So if you know that you're actively ignoring someone or you prefer to zone out and look at your phone instead of, you know exactly the repercussions and how you're making them feel. Okay, so do the opposite. So it sounds like you do know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I get you. Now I get it. It's a very good counter argument. I get that. When we think about listening, a lot of times people go to like problem solving. Which I've got you, Simon. I've got you, and this is what we should do. How do you think about that switch from listening to problem solving? And I've heard you say, when you've had friends that struggle, you just say, go on.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me understand? Because I like to solve problems. I'm like, great, Simon, 1, 2, 3. What do you advise people who like to do problem solving and what might be more beneficial?
Well, what you like might not be what is necessary in that moment. Again, you're making it about you. And if somebody comes to you and says, I'm struggling, it really isn't about you. It's about them. So it doesn't matter if you like problem solving. They're asking for a safe space to feel heard. Now, if they ask, what do you think? What do you think I should do? Then by all means. Or you can say, can I offer some suggestions, or do you want me to just hold space? It's not. You don't get to determine that. And so it's not that offering solutions is never the right answer. It's that you have to. This is what active listening is. It's a practice. You have to get good at it. And it's a work of constant improvement, of learning the subtleties and the nuances. We're social animals, and it's not always so easy to understand what people need in the time.
How do you know what they need in the time? Yeah, I actually say this now to bluntly, like my mother, who I go on walks with on Sunday. I'm like, I don't need problems or I don't need solutions. Just listen to me.
Yeah.
Or I need sympathy. Just tell me I'm great.
Right. So in those cases, because your mum is giving you the wrong thing that you're looking for, you spoke up and told her what you need.
Yeah.
And hopefully she was able to do that. Now, are you doing that for your friends? Because you just said you like to give solutions and you like to be da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But what if they say, I just need to talk? I just need to talk. I just need you to listen. I just need to vent.
I don't find many people tell you what they need. They kind of expect you to interpret it.
Yeah. I think we all live with the fantasy that other people can read our mind.
Yeah.
So if somebody isn't being clear about what their needs are, then default to holding space. Let them get to the point of saying, what do you think? Default to just being a container for whatever they're going through, or ask permission. Is this good timing for me to tell you what I think you should do next, or do you want to save that for another conversation? Can we save that for another conversation? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, ask. If you're not sure, ask. And this goes right back to the conversation we were just having about partnership, whether it's professional partnerships or personal partnerships. Don't make assumptions. Ask. If you cannot be crystal clear, if you cannot be 100% sure that what you think is actually true, then be curious, investigate, ask. People will tell you if you ask.